Thank you, everybody, for having me today. Ken told me I've got 15 minutes, so I have to give you what I call my bikini speech. What does that mean? I'm going to keep it very brief, but cover all the essentials, basically. So, quick background about myself. So I work for Park Lane. I'm vice president at Park Lane. We're a sports-focused investment bank headquartered in Century City in Los Angeles. And my background is I'm originally from Germany. That's where my family is based still to date. And came to the U.S. to go to college to Columbia University in New York. And my first job out of college was working for Citigroup for the sports investment bank within the division of Citigroup in the investment bank. And worked there for about 3 years until I left. My family had a liquidity event in Germany. And we decided to start our own family office. It was late 2008. The markets had crashed. I had a full head of hair. And the stress it cost us to start, we saw an opportunity. And it turned out to be a great opportunity. So we started investing in venture capital, private equity, and also had a little fund investing into capital markets as well. So learned my trade there. And then in 2014, my former boss at Citigroup, Rick Perna, he joined Park Lane as a managing partner and said, like, hey, Tom, you know you love sports, you love investment banking, you have a PE and VC background now. What are you thinking about coming back and working with us again? And so I said, like, you know, I'd love to do this. The time is right. Our portfolio is becoming more long-term portfolio. So I decided to join Park Lane. That's where I am today. And what do we do at Park Lane? So we have 3 different business segments. We have the sports investment bank. That's your typical M&A. You buy and sell sports teams, and it's usually wealthy individuals that do that. Obviously, all the 4 major leagues, 5 if you count Major League Soccer, getting up there slowly but surely, and a lot of stuff we're doing in Europe as well with the English Premier League, with the Serie A in Italy, and we're also looking at the German Bundesliga as well now. Second is what I'm talking about today. That's the Capital Group. That's our venture capital private equity arm. We help our clients raise capital mostly. We engage usually startup companies or more mature companies, and typically we act as almost like a multi-family office because the deals that we take on are usually deals we'd like to invest in ourselves, not on the front end, but more towards the back end. So we do a raise and then to finalize a round and finish it out or go into an oversubscription. That's where we would sometimes come in and build our own portfolio. So obviously that creates some kind of vested interest and sets the expectation and sets the interest, aligns them with our clients as well. And third, last but not least, that's our accelerator group. We have a huge network of experts, former CEOs, presidents, CFOs of sports companies that we sometimes take and drop them into companies that might need some help. Some company might need a new CEO. Some company might need help on the strategy side. We put people on board seats. So sometimes a company might not be ready for an equity raise just yet, but we see an opportunity and say, like, if you tweak the strategy a little bit, if you open up your network a little bit, then let's get somebody in from our network to get them ready, and we'll go from there. And then 6 months down the road, we will do an equity raise. So let's talk about venture capital investing in sports companies. And this is my picture to kind of describe what venture capital investing in sports really is. I don't know if you can see it that well, but so that's some kind of construct. The guys are cleaning the window. They kind of secured it with a couple of sandbags up. And that's really venture capital investing. What I mean by that is you never know if it's going to work out. But if you're in there, you're fully invested, you better make sure that it's damn well going to work out. So because otherwise you're screwed. What's our approach to investing? So obviously, as an investment bank, you look at it, and there's comparison methods. You have your strategy. You do your due diligence. All the strategies and methods that any other bank or PE shop applies. But what it really comes down to is we look for people that are the right people for each company, that believe in it, and then have a vision that we also share. That's the most important. If you have a company with a CEO that is not excited about the product and is not excited about sports, how can you get people to invest in your company if you're not the one that really believes in it fully? So we want to see that leadership, management is fully invested, fully excited about the opportunity, believes in it other than just the financial benefit. then we can get behind it and believe it in ourselves, and that makes us the best at raising capital then for the companies that we support. That's the only way it works. Obviously, we have our own proprietary system in evaluating the deals as well, but as a small boutique firm, we're all entrepreneurs, so we all have different angles in looking at deals, and that's how we analyze it. So excitement is key. Then the right focus, obviously, for us is sports, but within the sports sector, we have some subsectors that kind of sometimes become hybrid models themselves. So we focus on technology, media and entertainment, and consumer-facing products within the sports sector. We feel that nobody understands the sports sector better than us. And obviously, when you come in at that stage for a sports company, it's all about connections, getting people in front of the right investors, like today, and opening up really connections. Because at the end of the day, we can get people in front of investors that will listen to the pitch that these guys are going to give later. But we can close for them. It's got to be the CEO at the end of the day that closes it. No matter how good the connection is, it's all about the product, and they know that. And within those sectors, obviously, the companies we take on, we take a portfolio diversification approach. So we take some sectors that we like within that and bet on multiple companies, because obviously for risk diversification purposes. Here, this is the most important thing. I alluded to it earlier. You want to get the right people. You want to find out from a CEO, and that's when you talk to these guys that started the companies. You want to not only find out how they do it and how they came up with it, but why they do it. Why are you starting this business? And making revenues, creating a valuable company is not the answer that we're looking for. Obviously, everybody is doing this, but are you solving a problem? You have to solve a problem that's out there that nobody else has solved yet. So create your niche, be competitive, and tell us that there is a bigger picture than just profits within the company. That starts with the CEO, because the right CEO will have the skill set to get other people behind you that also believe in the vision. So the CEO is the leader. He creates a team that is not necessarily revenue driven, but understands the mission and the vision, because we usually see that if people believe in their businesses, the revenue will come automatically. So it's an end to a mean, but it's certainly not the path to get there. So also, by building those relationships with these companies, we're not looking to raise money and then go away. We take stakes in these companies, we take board seats in these companies, and in the long term, as a result, we want to have lasting relationships, and that is both out of interest on the commercial side. We also want to give great people opportunities to fulfill their dreams, and help them all the way to their liquidity events, exits, mergers, synergistic transactions, whatever might come along their way later down in their career and path. And the path to success, again, once we checked all these marks, we open up our network to them and say, like, okay, we're ready to help you, and we're going to get you in front of the best people. Whether it's a company that needs to talk to sports teams, get into arenas and stuff, we have all these connections. We'll give them that access. And we try to give them an unfair advantage, because that's what our job is. That's ultimately why they hire us. We want to give them an advantage that nobody else has in the market, and if they went to somebody else, it wouldn't be as effective as coming to us. And before I conclude, I wanted to say, again, why do we do this? We're lucky at Park Lane. We have a great group of guys. We're a team of 5 guys right now that does this, all very diverse backgrounds. We're all entrepreneurs, and lucky, fortunately for us, none of us really have to work anymore. We don't really have to look on the profit side, but we do it because we love sports. We really genuinely do. And as guys, who doesn't, right? So it's a fantastic sector to work in. You have a great team. We work with the right people, so that's why I joined Park Lane. It's fantastic. And ultimately, we do it for our families, too. You want to create a legacy. You want to make sure your family is all right and living a decent life. You want to give incredible people opportunities, and I think that's why most of you guys are in here as well. You want to give great people opportunities to thrive, to succeed, because ultimately that will help this country and our economy and everybody else along the way. If you don't build new things, nobody else will. So I'm really excited about the presentations we're going to see here today. some great entrepreneurs with some great businesses here. And hopefully some of them, or ideally all of them, will go on to greatness, and we'll hear a lot more in the future. So with that, thank you very much.